Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Ask the Wizard, streaming live almost daily. It's not where you're looking to, it's where you're looking from. This was one of the first teaching videos, if you will, I did. I remember doing it from the office downtown, probably in 2009. So many of the most important truths are the simplest. And this is an example of that. Starting the 5-minute timer now. See you in 5. Hey everybody, how you doing? Russ here. Ask the reason. Wow. Let's try that again. Ask the Wizard, streaming live almost daily. Let's see if Rusty does it. Let's see if Rusty can talk. Hey Rusty.
Hey, I am doing well. Say, there was something that we talked about before we get into the show. There was something that we were talking about just before we went on air. And I know it might be something that it's not your favorite topic to share, but I think it's really valuable for our listeners. So if you don't mind, could you just, share a little bit about what we were talking about a little earlier?
Yeah, okay. Any of you guys that have been watching me, fits in with the topic we were talking about. I've been doing this for a long time. And for a few years, I'm sure more than a few years, everything was working. I was riding high, man. Everything was just clicking. And then for whatever reason, still a mystery to me because I didn't do anything differently. Slowly but surely, you can hear my voice, slowly but surely it left. And we were talking about See, because with these videos, any of you that have done anything like this, there's all sorts of analytics now, right? So YouTube has them and Facebook has them, and we simulcast on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, and then upload the episodes to Spotify as well. You can see how many people watch, right? I used to have a lot. I really did. You could watch the number of views, how long they watched, all that kind of stuff. We don't have hardly any now. I mean, we have some, but they're not very long when they check in. We appreciate them checking in, of course, and we really appreciate those ones that are consistently find value in what that we're offering. But it's not very much. And so the question, I suppose, could be asked, why do I keep doing them? And why have I even expanded the team? We have Rusty here now. Why do I keep doing them? And there's a variety of reasons for that. I enjoy doing it, for sure. And I think the other one is the other one is I don't know what else to do. This is what I do. I spoke about this in another show a little earlier, how Jack Canfield is the one I heard say it. There was, because he'd written 1,000 books, the Chicken Soup for the Soul series and tons of other ones now. And he was talking about how an author had written a book, and they were asking him, so I've written my book, and I've got it in the marketing channel and all that kind of stuff. What do I do now? And he says, you write another book. Now I'm adding my words, because that's who you are and that's what you do. I don't know what else. This is who I am, and this is what I do. And so I do it. And the other cool thing about this is that in this case, I'm producing content. So whatever it is that you're offering, the neat thing about this is it never goes away, right? So hopefully I'm not, I think was it like some of these painters and stuff like that who sort of, their work only gets recognized globally once they're dead. So I hope that's not the case here. But these will be around a lot longer than I am, because these things are out there. And I really believe in the teachings because I know they work. I've seen them work. And it's not just my teachings. It's what I've experienced and I've learned, but it's also a compilation of all the other teachers that I've followed over coming up to damn near 20 years now. Well, next year, 2004, will be 20 years. And so even if maybe no one is watching them now, I truly believe that we're adding value. And I guess that's enough at this point. And that's what we were talking about, Rusty and I, was, hey, Serena, how you doing? Is we're adding value. We're offering that value, and that's, I guess, kind of where the trail ends for us. And then I guess it's going to do whatever it's going to do. How does that sound, buddy?
Yeah, no, that's perfect. We really believe in what we're doing, and it's not even so much that we believe in its value. We know the value that it has, and that's really what matters.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so let's get on to the topic. Anyway, so it's not where you're looking to, it's where you're looking from. This is one of those little tweaks that so often we don't even realize we're doing it until we realize we're doing it. And then by doing this simple little shift, it changes, well, kind of everything. Okay, Mr. Flip Chart. So this is you. Okay. Whoa, what did I... No, I hit some weird thing. Let's try that again. Hold on. I don't know who that is or what that is. Let's try this again. This is you. Okay, and this is your desire. Right. Whatever that desire is, right? So this is the way the normals, and I mean, in some cases, us too, we look at this as I am here, right? And I want to be here. So I'm in Red Deer. I'm in Alberta, Canada. I'm in Red Deer, and this is Edmonton. So I acknowledge that right now I am not in Edmonton. I'm in Red Deer. And then I know the steps to get me from Red Deer to Edmonton. So I start from, yes, I'm not where I want to be, but I know the steps to get to where I want to be, okay? Oops, where's all my... We'll just do this, get rid of all this, okay? And in some cases, that makes, all the sense in the world. And I'm not talking about those desires that I'm in Red Deer and want to get to Edmonton, that we know all the mechanical steps to get there. I'm talking about the ones that we have no clue how we're going to get from here to here. Now, in this case here, this is when we really have to leverage the mechanics of manifestation. And it's not magic, it's not fluffy. In so many ways, it's science. Much of it has been validated over and over and over again, and more of it continues to be validated over and over and over again. So now it's not just this weird new agey metaphysical blah, it's actually peer-reviewed, validated science. Okay, back to Mr. Flipchart. So one of the things, hold on, I'm back. In the manifesting process, in the home study course, there's 5 steps, right? First step is creating your perfect desire. Second step is living it on the inside. Third step is managing resistances or obstacles. Fourth step is taking inspired action. And fifth step is celebrating your victory. Yes, I know, my virus checker just finished running. Is celebrating your victory. This teaching applies specifically to step 2, which I call living your desire on the inside. So how do we do that? We do that through the non-physical, or our mind. This is where you create visualization. This is where you create the stories. This is where you kind of assume a position. There's a little bit of foreshadowing, what we're getting to here. And of course, as we've talked about over and over and over again, it's not so much the images, it's how you feel when you focus on the images. Because the physical feeling is that's where the power is. This has potential. The feeling has the power. This is the steering wheel of the car. This is the engine that drives the car to get to where you want to be, right? So this is specifically focused on the pictures that you have in your mind. So when you're doing that, you're visualizing, you're creating all these really cool daydreams, fantasizing, all this cool stuff. Ask yourself the question, from what perspective am I visualizing and imagining these things from? Am I here and looking towards it? This is really cool, right? So you create these stories, and then stop and ask yourself the question, where am I? Right? Where am I in this whole picture? Am I over here and am I looking at the desire? Or am I choosing to be over here and actually living it? Now, this can seem really subtle, but I tell you, it's incredibly important to understand this, because you're creating, or you're assuming, a vibrational set point, right? The signals that you're radiating out when you are here, and your perspective is, I am here looking at my desire. That's kind of the flavoring of this imaging. What's the vibrational set point you're radiating out? You're radiating out that I am here and my desire is over here. I'm in Red Deer. I'm not in Edmonton. Seems really simple, and it seems like a really simple tweak. Hey, Jesse, how you doing? But it's so very important. When you're creating that imagery, when you're creating that, when you're visualizing, and when you're feeling good. And what's interesting is, what you will find, I believe, is where the real feeling good happens. It's not so much here, right? And you're creating a picture and you're looking at your desire. You know what? Often when you're there, it creates sensations that don't really feel that good, because you're not where you want to be. In a crazy way, you're actually emphasizing the fact that I am not where I want to be. This desire that I want to manifest isn't here because I'm somewhere else looking at it. You see, this is really cool. This is really cool how this works. And this is why sometimes a person is visualizing the crap out of things. I'm doing all this stuff I'm supposed to do, and I don't have that really good physical sensation, those happy feeling emotions, those good feeling sensations from, if you will, using a label, positive emotions. Is because the position that you're taking, you're assuming, is I'm not here. I don't have it. It's not here. It's over there. So what you may find, maybe the reason, boy, oh boy, this must be valuable because my voice is going. Maybe the reason that you're having a bit of a challenge, feeling that kind of that lightheartedness, like, right, is simply because the stories that you're telling are ones where you're here looking at your desire rather than pretending, quote unquote, or living your desire as though it's already happened. Even though physically nothing maybe has changed yet. The visualization you're creating or you're playing the part of it has already changed. Where if you're here, you're actually emphasizing, you're taking that perspective, that vibrational perspective that's, I don't have it. When you're here, you're taking that vibrational perspective that I do. So then this is going to radiate out that information. And then, of course, the process of that is topics for another story or stories. But it's radiating out that information that I'm already here. I've chosen to be here. I'm already here. I'm living. I'm pretending that I'm already there, which changes the vibrational set point. And I bet you anything, it's going to be easier for you to feel really, really good as you're creating this. It's, it's simple. Simple doesn't mean easy. And it can initially feel like just this little tweak. But I found it so valuable. And again, it's that checking in with yourself. You know, when you're daydreaming, you're not even trying. You know how you're waiting for an appointment or whatever, and you're just kind of daydreaming and the pictures play out in your mind. Are they playing out as though you're actually in it and experiencing it? Or are you actually not, but you're looking at it? Those two perspectives send out very different vibrations. Really important to remember.
Absolutely. As you've talked about, and we've talked about when we're doing our brainstorming and whatnot, is there such power in awareness? Being aware of kind of what you're doing, being aware of how you're thinking, being aware of the thought streams that go through your mind. Because until you're aware of them, how can you consciously change them? And awareness is always the first step, and in so many respects, the most powerful step.
Yeah, that is so true. Persistence, bullheaded stubbornness, valuable. I was talking with a fellow yesterday and the value of of stubbornness in your spiritual walk, because take it from me, there's definitely those days where sometimes that's all you've got. But in those days when you're just refusal to quit and you're just going to keep going, even though it's not pretty at the time, even though you're tripping and falling, but you just keep moving. That's such a powerful, powerful statement. Easy to have faith when everything's going your way, right? Faith, Neville Goddard, he's the one that I really like his definition. It was like loyalty to the unseen. So loyalty to your vision, believing in your vision. Even though there's such stark contrast when you look out here. Easy to have faith when everything's going your way. The challenge is, and the power is having faith when it's not. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Rusty, for showing up as always. Share. We're all in this together. See you.